this is a par 4. Obviously, this is a placement shot. You're just trying to make the first shot to get to the gap. I don't see any of the pros actually trying to penetrate through the gap. And in fact, the closer you get to the gap opening, the more you've cut down your angles. So the smart play for a pro is not only to get to where they can view the gap, but is to be short of the gap, giving himself a wider angle to throw. You do not have to be as precise if you don't try to push the distance. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw a beaten up Fallon. It's not that overstable, so it flips up on. If you get a good landing, you're definitely thinking attack this hole, you're gonna try to get a birdie. However, a backhand hyzer, it's a bit deceptive because you will fade in early, almost certainly if you throw something overstable. So if you wanna throw the backhand, you need to throw something understable that's going to turn up, hyzer flip and penetrate forward, or a sidearm anhyzer that flexes forward. But you need to end its flight forward, not to the left. You need to shape your shot on this one. It's very tricky. One of the biggest mistakes players make is they automatically think they're going to attack the second shot of a par 4. That is not the case on a hole like this. Yes, if you have a good drive and you have the power, you're thinking birdie. If you don't have the power with a good drive, you're definitely thinking push the fairway for an easy par. But if you're anywhere but a perfect position, the biggest mistake you can make is to try to get tricky or fancy. These trees are a hazard, but not only are you risking hitting a tree, you're risking kicking into the woods and taking 2 more shots to get out. You're risking a lot of strokes to be too aggressive if you did not throw a great shot. So if you are not in perfect position, the best thing you can do is concede that you can't be hyper aggressive on the next shot and just push the fairway as best as possible from where you are. Don't be committed to what your second shot's going to be on the tee pad. Make the decision about your second shot when you get here. So one of the tricks to playing the par 4s is not to look at the entire hole, but you need to break it into separate parts. So forget about the end of the hole. All you're looking at is your first shot, trying to get to the gap. If you're throwing a backhand, you're going to the right, a sidearm going to the left. It's absolutely a hyzer all day. Don't worry about trying to flex one out that penetrates forward. That's not the goal. You need to break this hole up and just think one shot at a time. And your one shot is what's going to get you around the trees, over the lake, into the open. Baskets on top of small mounds mess up so many people because they take the shot lightly. There's basically 2 options here when the basket's on a mound. Number 1, don't be afraid to not put it under the basket. If you're 4 meters away at the base of the mound, you're gonna make the putt. You have a flat ground, it's very safe. If you're committed to landing on the mound, you need to consider the angle of the disc when it lands. As long as you land the disc at the same angle the mound is, you're gonna be fine. But the mistake players make is they step up, they take it lightly, they throw under the basket just like they would if there was no mound. The disc hits at an awkward angle, picks up and rolls away. That can happen to anybody if you're not thinking.